St. Paul of Thebes, often known as Paul the First Hermit, is traditionally recognized as the first Christian to live a solitary, ascetic life in the desert. His life, though shrouded in the mists of early church history, serves as the foundation for the desert monastic tradition. Feast day, January 15th. Patronage, basket makers, weavers, and the Order of St. Paul the Hermit. Born in Egypt around 227 AD, Paul was a highly educated young man from a wealthy family. During the persecutions of the Roman Emperor Decius, Paul's life took a dramatic turn. To escape the violence and to prevent a greedy relative from betraying him to the authorities for his inheritance, he fled into the Thebaid desert. What began as a temporary refuge became a lifelong calling. Paul discovered a cave near a clear spring and a palm tree, which provided him with both water and clothing from the leaves. According to legend, God provided for his physical needs just as he had for Elijah. A raven would fly to him every day, dropping half a loaf of bread. He lived in total silence and prayer for nearly 90 years, completely unknown to the world. The most famous story of St. Paul's life involves St. Anthony the Great, often called the father of monasticism. Anthony had begun to believe he was the first person to live such a life in the desert, but he received a vision telling him of another hermit more perfect than himself. Anthony journeyed across the desert to find Paul. When they met, the raven appeared and dropped a full loaf of bread instead of the usual half, signifying God's blessing on their meeting. St. Paul died shortly after Anthony's visit, around 342 AD, at the age of 113. Legend says that as Anthony mourned, having no tools to bury his friend, two lions appeared and dug a grave for the saint with their paws. St. Paul's legacy is one of radical trust in God's providence and the belief that in silence and solitude, one can find the deepest connection to the divine. Prayer. O God, who willed that St. Paul, the first hermit, who found his path to salvation in the solitude of the desert, grant through his intercession that we may seek you above all things. In the midst of the noise and distractions of our world, help us to find a desert in our own hearts where we may hear your voice. Amen.